Yates Design believes that true creativity comes through experiencing art and culture in its many different forms. Recently, designer Mariana Hernandez was at the Mexico City Art Fair, and we're with her today to talk about everything she saw, experienced, and was inspired by. Mariana, this was your first Mexico City Art Week. What were your initial impressions?
So I was going with the expectation of something familiar because I went to Mexico City Design Week about 5 years ago. So I had the expectation of what I was going to find, but it turned out to be very different. Design and art are kind of in the same industry, in the same world, but experiencing it separately and very differently, it was unexpected.
Being part of the team Yates means you are encouraged to go out and see different art, different culture, experience different things. What made you want to go to the Mexico City Art Week?
So being Mexican, I already knew about this event and I've been wanting to go for years and years. And as I said before, I went to Design Week previously, given I was in college for industrial design. So I got to experience more like the furniture and the lighting and the environmental design, but I've never seen like art being exposed like that. So I just had a really big desire to see it firsthand.
Being that this was your first time, what advice would you have to someone who would be new to the Mexico City Art Week? I'm sure there was lots you learned.
Yeah, so my mistake was going with a go with the flow mentality. I had a couple expos I really wanted to hit and places I wanted to go, but being in Mexico City, being such a big city, you really don't have time to kill, especially in an event like this. So I would definitely encourage people to have a schedule and buy tickets like beforehand, so you have a very clear what zone are you going to be at and what are you going to visit, and then you can flow with a schedule in mind.
Awesome, great advice. What trends did you notice in color and texture and styles of art?
Well, something I did notice, I saw a lot of artists explore being out of the frame. Like instead of being, you think art and you think of a typical frame and the art is inside the frame. And this time around, I noticed a lot of artists were like just getting outside of the frame. Some people were like doing frame on frame on frame and then the art inside. And then there had like materials that were like 3D texture and dimension. Wow. And I thought that was really interesting and really fun. Like for us as designers to explore the idea of adding that into a client's home instead of just having it something on the wall, typically just like a 2D, we can think outside the box and be like, okay, why don't we bring texture into the wall or play with the lighting in the room to make it an art sculpture or something.
Art can be reflective of its times, and obviously we're living in an ever-changing dynamics. Did you see that through the art?
Yeah, so definitely I noticed some artists, especially in Sonamaco, where they were using their art as a protest sign or a rebellion against certain topics that are really heavy right now, not only in the country but throughout the world. So I think art always has its moment doing that, and I definitely saw that.
So taking it a little bit out of the Mexico City Art Week and talking about art in general, one of the things that's been on my mind lately was the first piece of art that ever stopped me in my tracks, which was Degas' 14-year-old dancer at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Do you remember the first piece of art that had a huge impact on you, and why did it have that impact?
Yeah, I can go back to when I was a kid thinking about like my art classes, and I remember learning about Frida Kahlo and all of her very interesting life and traumatic events that lead her to create art. And I remember seeing one of her first pieces, The Two Fridas. And I just remember as a kid, it got me thinking about how one person can have multiple histories behind and like she reflects like two personalities or two phases of her life connected in one. So I just remember that being one of the first ones that really pulled me in.
You are a little over a year into being a part of the Team Yates. What in that time have you learned about using art in interior design?
Well, coming from a commercial architecture background, I think that now that I'm in residential, I'm learning from architecture and furniture and the layout and art. It's like it's in every single part of the home. And especially for us as interior designers, is our responsibility to bring it into someone's home. Like a person might be able to pick and choose pieces or decorate their home, but for us as interior designers, we get to think of the experience inside the home and be like, okay, this little corner can have like art in it, or it can have like function but also a beautiful design, and we can use art to make that happen.
You've been in Dallas for a few years now. How do you go and experience art and creativity here?
So I really like going to different areas of the city and just walk around and experience what people are doing, and I love people watching. And mostly when I travel, I like finding out like where to go, what museums to see, what expos to find, and get inspired from there.
So, inquiring minds want to know, do you have any hidden artistic talents? And if so, what is it? And if not, what would you wish you had?
I am pretty good at drawing, like realistic portraits. I have not done it in so many years, but it is definitely something I would like to jump back into because I like it a lot and it's been a while. So that creative outlet, it's been forgotten for a few years, but we'll definitely like to go back to it.
Yates Design is always in search of beauty and inspiration. And when we find it, we translate that into outstanding home designs for all of our clients. Continue watching to keep up with how Yates Design stays inspired.